Hello, Tantus Data Thinkers. Welcome in our next video. I hope you enjoy the last one because today we're gonna be much better. So topic for CTOs, CFOs, guys who are caring about budgeting, money. Uh, I hope we'll dive into something practical, some tips from you maybe. So let's go. So could you tell me why cost optimization is so crucial?
Cost optimization is vital because it directly impacts the company's bottom line. So efficiently managing cloud resources is not only about reducing the expenses, it's also about enhancing the performance, enhancing the productivity of your team. So it's all about making sure that every single dollar spent on the data infrastructure brings value to the organization.
That makes sense. Let's start with right sizing resources. Can you explain what that means and why it's important?
Yeah, absolutely. So right sizing resources means matching the cloud resources to what you really need, matching the storage, the network, the compute to what you really need. So if you over provision the resources, then you simply pay too much. But on the other hand, if you under provision, your system will probably be struggling with performance. So you really need to understand what tasks you are running and adjust the resources to them. So it's pretty much like choosing the camera. You want to look professional, but on the other hand, if you are running just a Zoom meeting, probably you don't need the top-notch camera, the very expensive one.
Size seems to be only one aspect. How about the variety of tools which can be selected?
Yeah, I would say that the tool selection is the most important and more important than everything else, because various cloud providers, they have various offerings, and even within a single cloud provider you get multiple tools which on the surface look alike, but sometimes it is better to ask an expert instead of getting overwhelmed with the costs. So selecting the right tool is pretty much like a car selection. So for instance, you can have a great Formula One type of car, but it won't do well if you do an off-road race, regardless of any kind of tuning you apply to it.
But how do I make sure that the cloud tool selected for a job is the right one? What if the tool selection is already made and it's just wrong?
Well, but those are actually two different questions. So let's start with how do you select the right one. So in the early phase of your development, you need to carefully review your options. So for instance, you need to understand your workload, your priorities, and then decide if, for instance, AWS EMR is good for you, or maybe you prefer Athena for your type of workload. But then, in some cases, the processing might be simple, the data might be small, and then you simply select for convenience. But on the other hand, if the tool has been already selected, then it's a question of what potential savings are on the table. In some cases, re-implementation using a better tool, a tool which is better suited to your workload, makes perfect sense. But in some cases, it's really not worth it.
You said that if the data is not large, you should choose whatever is convenient. Are you sure that convenience, or in another word, making engineers' life easier, is something that business should optimize for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm quite sure about that, because you have to keep in mind that the convenience of engineers' work, the making the work easy, is actually very much related to the business goals, because the engineer's time is also a cost, and if you keep their life simple, you can develop fast, you can deliver the features fast, and end of the day that brings the benefits to the business. So in some cases, making an optimization means not only a lot of effort, but also making the code more complex, making it harder to maintain. And if you avoid that, then you avoid situations that the code is hard to maintain, that people are leaving the company because of that, and so on.
Very interesting. What strategies should team look into when taking into account the optimization costs?
Focus on initiatives that promise a strong return on investment. So cost optimization itself requires effort, resources. It's a cost itself. So it's important to prioritize the areas where you can see significant savings. So always evaluate the potential ROI before digging too deep into the optimization projects.
Is cost optimization a one-off activity or should it be ongoing one?
The one-off activity is a good start if you've never really paid attention to what you are spending money on in the cloud. But overall, it should be something you monitor, you evaluate it during the development, and it should happen organically. So in the perfect world, you basically pay attention to that during the development process, so you never really do separate cost optimization activity. But since we live in a world which is not that perfect, then I would say every now and then doing a periodic review is a good strategy to make sure that we don't miss something, that we spot the opportunity to improve the performance and the cost let's say every 3 months.
Great points. Any final advice for our audience?
Absolutely. I would suggest you to keep optimizing and monitoring of the cost aspects continuously. This is something which should be happening on daily basis. Make sure you use the right tools. Make sure you don't select an overkill approach, and stay informed about changes in the cloud providers' offers. Sometimes they change not only the way you use the tools, but they change the pricing. So when you stay up to date, you can make sure that you are not only cost effective, but also efficient in a sense of performance and whatever activities are facing your client.
Thank you, Martin. I think you cover all. For next one, I should prepare something more challenging for you.
I hope so. I should hope so.
Leave some comments, and we are open for discussion and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I would be happy to hear questions, to answer them, and also maybe cover them in the next episodes. Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.